We wanted to get a real-world consensus on the best tool for the job. So, we went out and surveyed over 100 professional mule deer guides. We're talking about the guys who live and breathe that high country air, the professionals whose reputations depend on results. The question was simple. What is the single best mule deer cartridge? What do you carry personally? And what do you recommend for your clients? We ran a similar poll for elk cartridges a while back, and the response was solid. So, we decided to run it back, this time focusing on muleys. The data we got back was illuminating. The opinions were a lot more varied than they were for elk. But we've tallied all the responses. And now, we're going to break down the top 5 most recommended cartridges, according to the guides who get it done, season after season. Now, before we crack into that top 5, we have to cover the honorable mentions. These 2 rounds got a significant number of votes, just not quite enough to break into the top tier. We're talking about the .243 Winchester and the .25-06 Remington. Both of these are absolute legends out west. They're famous for being incredibly soft shooting, which makes mastering shot placement significantly easier. They are fast. They shoot flat, just absolute tack drivers for open country hunting. They are both excellent options, and frankly, I'm surprised they didn't rank higher, but they just missed the cut. Kicking off the top 5, we actually have a dead tie. And what's fascinating is these 2 cartridges could not be more different. They are polar opposites, and they're probably 2 of the most debated rounds in any gun shop. We've got the 6.5 Creedmoor and the .30-06 Springfield. Let's look at the Creedmoor first. Over the last decade, this round has just completely taken over the precision scene. It's surgical. It has almost no recoil, which builds incredible shooter confidence. Ammunition is everywhere. It's generally affordable, and it's almost always match grade. It just makes accurate hits at extended ranges seem easy. Then, on the other side of that coin, you've got the .30-06. This one was a bit of a surprise. Personally, I've always filed this one under elk medicine, and it did rank very high on our elk survey. But the guides who backed it made a critical point. It's a fantastic dual-purpose cartridge. You can hunt mule deer one weekend and elk the next, all with the same rifle and a proper load. The Creedmoor, while it can take an elk, isn't most folks' first choice for that job. With these 2 rounds, it seems hunters either love 'em or hate 'em. But you simply cannot argue with the results. They both stack up deer. So, coming in as a tie for number 5, the 6.5 Creedmoor, and the .30-06. Coming in at number 4 is another absolute time-tested blue-collar classic, the .308 Winchester. The guides who voted for this one all hit the exact same points. It's boringly reliable. Ammunition is dirt cheap and stacked deep everywhere, and the recoil is incredibly manageable. That last part is critical. Because the ammo is inexpensive and the recoil is mild, a hunter can get a lot of trigger time. They can master that rifle, they can practice from field positions without developing a flinch or breaking the bank. Now, is it the flattest shooting cartridge on this list? Absolutely not. It's got some drop to it. But as the guides pointed out, inside 300 or 400 yards, it just flat out works. And every guide will tell you they would much rather have a client show up with a .308 they can shoot confidently than some big, flashy Magnum that makes them flinch every time they get behind the scope. The .308 is just a solid workhorse. Holding the number 3 spot is a cartridge that, frankly, does not get the mainstream respect it deserves. The 7mm .08. I was genuinely impressed by how many guides swore by this round. It seems to fly under the radar, but the professionals love it. And here's why. It essentially takes all the core benefits of the .308 and just makes them better. You get noticeably less recoil than the .308 while shooting bullets with a better ballistic coefficient. That translates to a slightly flatter trajectory. Ammunition is widely available, and it's a fantastic round for lighter, shorter action rifles. Several guides pointed out this is their number 1 recommendation for new shooters, kids, or anyone sensitive to recoil. You put all that together, you get an incredibly versatile, highly efficient deer-killing machine. It's basically a .308 optimized. All right, our number 2 pick, and this one should surprise absolutely no one who hunts out west. The 7mm Rem Mag. This cartridge owns Western hunting. It has for decades, and for good reason. It shoots incredibly flat. That flat trajectory gives the hunter a much greater margin for error when it comes to range estimation. The guides who picked this round noted that out to 500 yards, it delivers a perfect, proven blend of terminal energy and accuracy. Now, does it kick? Yes. You're in Magnum territory. The recoil is noticeably sharper than the other rounds on this list. But like the 30-06, this is an outstanding dual-purpose rifle. It is more than enough gun for any mule deer walking, and it's a stellar choice for elk, too. Even with all the new hot-shot 7mm cartridges on the market, like the 7 PRC, which did get some mentions, the guides made it clear. The classic 7mm Rem Mag still reigns supreme for proven all-around performance. And the #1 most recommended mule deer cartridge from over 100 professional guides is the 270 Winchester. Now, I have a ton of respect for this cartridge, but I have to admit, I was a little surprised to see it take the top spot. But when you stop and actually analyze it, it makes perfect sense. Why the 270? Because it represents the perfect balance of all the key attributes. It shoots flat. The recoil is mild, very easy to manage for the vast majority of shooters. And the ammunition, you can walk into any hardware store, gun shop, or gas station in the middle of nowhere, and they will have a box of 270 on the shelf. It isn't the newest. It isn't the flashiest. It doesn't have a slick marketing campaign. It's just the round that has been quietly and efficiently getting the job done for generations. It is the absolute definition of a proven performer. So, let's look at the big picture here. Does the mule deer on the other end of that shot really care if it was hit with a 270 or a 6.5 Creedmoor or a 7mm .08? Absolutely not. Every single cartridge on this list and the honorable mentions will get the job done effectively. Does it really matter which one was #1? No, because there was one single overarching theme. It was the same theme we found in the elk survey. Every single guide, everyone followed up their cartridge choice with the exact same statement. Shot. Placement is king. It does not matter what you are shooting if you cannot put that bullet where it needs to go. All the guides agreed. Get a rifle you can shoot comfortably. Get trigger time. Practice. Learn to make a clean, ethical shot under pressure. A perfect shot with a 243 is infinitely better than a gut shot with a 3388. That's why this list is dominated by classics. Are the new, flashy cartridges cool? Of course. But when your livelihood depends on performance, you stick with what is proven to work time and time again. So, that's the data from the professionals. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think is the ultimate mule deer cartridge? What rifle are you taking to the high country this season? Drop your setup down in the comments below. If you got something out of this discussion, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss what's next. Stay sharp, and thanks for watching.